Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Killmonger, issue number 3 of 5. Thoughts I saw somewhere there was only supposed to be 4 issues. I'm very glad that I made a mistake in that look, because this doesn't deserve to go only to 5 issues. I feel like this should go a lot further. We're going to get into that a little bit later. So, By Any Means, part 3 of 5. Writer Brian Hill. Art and cover Juan Ferreira. Letters VC's Joe Sabino. Color assists by Eduardo Ferreira. And logo, Adam Del Rey. Alright, so the King is trying to use his mutant powers of, it seems like it's just magnetism, not quite on the level of Magneto, to stop Bullseye, who's trying to kill everyone. Killmonger, again, turns his freaking pistol sideways and starts bang, 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 shooting at it. Man, just, the sights. There's a reason why the sights are on top, not on the sides, you freaking numbskull. Anyhow, so he's not doing so hot. He gets jacked up immediately. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Ow! Ow, my face. Ow! 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 Yeah. So, what's this one girl? Knight. I think her name is Patricia. We find out later on what her actual name is. She uses her mutant powers. Now, I don't actually know what her mutant powers are, but whatever they are, she's got very, very low-level mutant powers. I don't know, wind, or she could throw a little sailboat type. I don't know what the hell that thing is. Is that a knife? I can't tell by the art. I have no freaking clue what the hell that thing is. But anyway, it's like a garbage can lid or something, and Bullseye easily skips over it. In the end, the King winds up saving their lives. Mind you, Rook is murdered in the previous issue. They're on the run. Now, they don't know that Kingpin is like, all right, don't bother following them. Let them go. This should be enough for them to understand that their contract is up. I don't want them working for me anymore, and I don't want them in New York anymore. New York City, New York State, who the frick cares? Go move to Vermont. You'll be safer there. All right, go to freaking LA if you want to. You know, I'm sure there's plenty of action out there. What do you got? The Runaways to contend with? I'm sure you'll be fine. But they don't know that. They don't know this. So they're looking out. You know, they refuse to sleep. Like, we got to keep each other awake, and we got to try and, you know, situate so that we don't get murdered in our sleeps. So they decide, yeah, here's what we're going to do. Let's bang. Let's bang. Let's knock uglies, right? Let's knock boots and all that stuff, and we'll keep each other awake that time. I don't know if these two know how it works. But usually after the nuck. Oh, man. Anyway. So, yeah, they get it on. And, you know, I thought that at the very least, Knucklehead, Killmonger, and Jadaka was going to be like, you know, it was fine. You know, it was cool. Whatever. Just whatever. It's like, just okay. You had the nuck, let it go, right? No. He's got to be all like, hey, girl. She's like, okay, stop looking at me like that. It's like, yeah, but girl. She's like, listen, man, don't get into your head that this is anything more than just us knocking uglies. Okay, that's all it was. That's all it was. It's like, I know. But listen, girl. Like, what the freak, man? This moron. Like, this is the actions of a guy who's never gotten laid before. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking a real good game in the previous episode, the previous issue, when he's all like, you know, staring at her, and she's like, what are you looking at? I'm just trying to get you out of my mind. I'm just trying to, you know, wear you out in my mind. So it's like, psh, whatever. I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. And it turns out I was right, because I never heard that before. That was a good line. That was funny and all. You know, building up an immunity to you or something like that. It works. Anyway, yeah, he fell for it. He's just like, you know, like, how often does that happen? A guy finally gets this girl that he's been trying to get, and apparently it wasn't even that long for this guy, and he got it pretty quick, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm so attached to you, girl. I'm attached to the hip, and you know, what's in between the hips, you know? Like, dude, you sorry state, man. This freaking virgin. Wet behind the ears. Talking about, I finally got my first piece, and he can't get enough. Girl, I want to marry you now. Like, he just had sex. Oh my God. Anyway, So, oh man, this is waking me up. So this knucklehead, he's all like, but I love you. He doesn't say that anyway. I need to move on from this, dude. Like, this is way too funny. All I could do is make fun of this man. It was really good art, all of it, but like this knucklehead. But we've all seen it before, am I right? Some of you guys have had it happen to you. Some of you guys. Oh man. Anyhow, so she leaves and she's like, make sure you stay here. And then all of a sudden he falls asleep because that's what sex does to you. Oh man. Okay, so she goes and she calls the black. Somehow she gets a hold of the Black Widow, and they come and they arrest him, and he thinks it's the Kingpin's men, and like whatevs. So she anyway, like there's a whole bunch of things said, but nothing actually happens. Now, initially, I'm thinking to myself, this is kind of silly because why were all these things said, but nothing like that ever happens? At one point, Black Widow says to this girl. Tonight, she's like, yeah, listen, so just tell him that he thinks that he was kidnapped by the Kingpin men. Just go with that and blah, blah, blah. But she doesn't. She just goes and tells him the truth and everything like that. And I'm thinking, why would they even say something like that? And then I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, I'm too stuck in freaking comic book world where everything does go very linear. Everything does go, oh, this happened because this is going to happen. And that happened because that had happened. This is reading a lot more like real life. And I also have to keep in mind, we all have to keep in mind, that this is not canonical. This is someplace in between the movie and the comic book. Someplace in between. So, it's like the fresh water and the salt waters, never the twain shall mix, right? Nah, man. Nah, man. She's like, it's cool. It's cool. So they're not related. This is out of canon, out of continuity. None of this stuff actually affects anything else. So this is not our regular Killmonger from either the movie or from the comic books. And I have to keep that in mind. Nonetheless, the Panther goddess, Bast, is like, talking to him. It's like, listen, man, what's up? Because like, he can call upon it. He can call upon this goddess because, he is still a part of royal blood. But the Panther is saying, listen, man, you need to pray. You need to be cool. You need to try and, make your peace with T'Challa, and then you can come back. But this path that you're going down isn't going to help. It's like, T'Challa isn't worthy. You never met T'Challa. How do you know? Like, he's just so bitter. He's so angry at the world. It's a shame. I'm going to say something that's probably going to tick off some people, and you have the right to be ticked off. I feel like this is a better fall to the dark side story than the Anakin Skywalker story. You know what I'm saying? I feel like especially with issue number 25 of Star Wars Darth Vader, that was the last one in that volume 2 of the Darth Vader story by Marvel. Just came out, I think, last week. Or the week before. Anyway, they showed that the Dark Force was used to create Anakin. Somebody was like, well, if you look, she was already pregnant. Yeah, but if you remember the movie, she said there was no father. So there's no way that she's just all of a sudden pregnant and maybe, I don't know, but whatever, who cares? The idea is that somehow the Dark Force, and this kind of takes away the choice from who the character is. You know what I'm saying? It takes away that choice. It's like, it's one thing to sit here and say, oh yeah, man, he's just a regular old kid and he was swayed to the dark side. It's another thing to say he was created from the dark side or influenced, while he was still in the womb by dark side, whatever, infused in some way, shape, or form with dark sides. Part of who he is constructed of is dark side. Honestly, how much of a choice did he have at that point? Suddenly he's not a tragic character. Suddenly it's like, through the motions. With Njidaka, in my opinion, this is a better story because he had a choice. This is a guy, imagine whatever God you may or may not worship, imagine if your God came to you, you know what I'm saying, and said, hey, listen, man, it's me. Sup? Pound it. I'll fix your hand later. Look, you're cured. I want you to do such and such and such. And you turn around and say, yeah, nah. Think about that. And that's exactly what Njikata is doing in here. Interesting. This is a character who, because of the privilege of his birth, where have I seen that before? He has access to things that other Wakandans even don't have. And he's being guided divinely, directly. All right, like Moses wasn't even allowed to see his God. Think about that. Moses couldn't even see his God. Just talking to the burning bush aged him drastically. Still lived to be 125, so, no complaints. But the point is, this cat, he gets to just go into a little Om state, right? Go and like zen it, and all of a sudden, he can talk to his panther god. Kind of wish I could do that, just saying. And yet, even with this, he's choosing to turn his back because he can't let go of what's bothering him. Now, if I had to make a complaint about this comic book, is that I don't know how he's going to go from issue 1, where he was just some MIT guy who is actually kind of big but doesn't really know anything. He doesn't know how to fight, not really. He was never in the military. He was just some cat from MIT. You know what I'm saying? Dude, you're smart, but if you were really smart, you wouldn't try and tussle it up with the big boys. You just wouldn't do that, Ain't nobody from freaking SEAL Team 6 straight out of MIT. You're going through the rounds, you know what I'm saying? And this guy he gets to join in, and I think that it would have been nicer, it would have made more sense if they would have explained, we're not hiring you. We're not bringing you in because we think that you're a tough guy. We're hiring you in because you're a smart guy. And then let him try and work his way into being a smart guy. Get some of those, those piercings, those body piercings that you get under your skin to show, oh, these are how many people I've killed. Have him work his way towards that. Despite that's why I don't think that this should be a 5-issue limited series, I'd like for it to be addressed that way, but I'm enjoying it the way it is. I just don't know how this is going to end in 5 issues and be okay. It's like, we're going to continue some way, somehow, in some other direction, right? Because this is not going to be Njikata by the end of this. Like, these 2 more issues to go, I don't see him suddenly becoming a badass inside of 2 issues. Because he's not a badass in here. All he is some guy who keeps on getting his ass handed to him. He goes up, it's like, let's get into a fight. What's this? And the other guy's just like, take this, please. What is this? It looks like my ass. Is that my ass? Are you handing me my ass? I'm handing you your ass. Please, take your ass. It's kind of stinky. I got to go wash my hands. Like, dude's constantly getting his ass handed to him. So, if we could, it'd be nice to see how he actually becomes the badass who gets to keep his ass in a fight. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. I'm not asking for much. Which is why I think that in some way, shape, or form, there's going to be a volume 2 of this. I'm kind of hoping. You know what? Let's just... Fingers crossed, baby. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Good comic book. I enjoyed the comic book. It generally did. I enjoy seeing where it's going and whatnot. I'm sad to see his girl turn on King so quickly. That's something that's a little bit annoying. If I had to really complain about something, genuinely complain about something, it's like, maybe she sees something in this cat, but like, just, this is the dream. This is the dream. It's like, bro, it's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Why does this guy think? I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. That's what happens when you're like massive royalty, taken away from everything, never gotten laid, and somebody finally like, okay, I feel bad for you. Here's some sympathy sex. Anyway, I'm moving on from this. Love the cover though, man. Holy crap, this cover is just expert. Damn, that is awesome. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.